is hyperconjugation? Is this clear? So when I'm talking about hyperconjugate, I'll write the definition and then explain. So we have, after resonance, the next topic is hyperconjugation, then we have aromaticity. These are three very important topics in basic principles and methods of separation in organic compounds, reaction mechanism and all that. So we have hyperconjugation. So I'll write down the definition of hyperconjugation or the statement of hyperconjugation and then I'll explain. It involves the delocalization of sigma electron pair. The definition may not be easy, but when I give an example, you will understand. It involves the delocalization of sigma electron pair, because if you remember, resonance was all about pz orbitals in conjugation, that means parallel, and what was happening, they were what you call moving around. Is this clear? The delocalization caused resonating structures. So here this involves this also involves delocalization of a sigma electron pair of alpha CH bond due to sideways overlapping See, I am taking down from my notes is because I don't want to miss even a single statement. The sideways overlapping of sp3s sigma orbital and of alpha CH bond with adjacent pz orbital. Now see, let me start with ethyl carbonium ion. So this is also called as what you call as Baker-Nathan effect, hyperconjugation, or it is also called as Baker-Nathan effect. Baker-Nathan effect. Now, this is only observed in carbocation. Let me explain this. See, we take an example of ethyl carbonium ion. Ethyl carbonium ion. See, what happens in ethyl carbonium ion is you have CH3, CH2 plus. So you have a pz orbital. It is positively charged because you have a pz orbital which is vacant. Is this point clear? Now we are talking about what? Now from the definition I'll pick up sentences and adjust over here. So it is a sideways overlap of, now look at this carbon hydrogen bond. This carbon hydrogen bond was formed by a sp3 hybrid orbital of carbon with a s orbital of hydrogen, and there were 2 electrons. And what kind of bond was this? This was a sigma bond. So now what happens is, listen carefully. What happens over here in hyperconjugation is, you have so you have this sp3s overlap. What happens is one of the electron gets transferred to this, so इसका positive charge चला गया. इसने एक इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज किया तो ये पॉजिटिव हो जाता है. आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? एंड नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस इज देयर इज दिस साइडवेज ओवरलैप. There is this sideways overlap. To understand one thing, it involves the delocalization of electron. What do you mean delocalization of electron? Shifting of electron from its position to another position. From where? From a sigma bond, sigma electron pair. So this was the carbonium ion. The carbon adjacent to that is called as alpha carbon atom. The CH bond on that is called as alpha CH bond due to sideways overlapping of. So this is sideways overlapping of a sp3s sigma orbital of the alpha CH bond with the pz orbital of the carbonium ion. Are you understanding? So first what will happen, this will go over here and it will come back. Then this is another alpha CH bond, this will go over here, and then this is another. So more number of alpha CH bond, more will be the stability, because more will be the hyperconjugating structure. So how many hyperconjugating structure? Number of hyperconjugating structures. So what happens? How many CH bond, alpha CH bond it has? 1, 2, 3. So in this case, ethyl it is 3. The total structure is 4. Hyperconjugating will be 3. Remember that. The general structure CH3, CH2 plus is 1. And 3 hyperconjugating structures. So in the exam, Sara, you have to be careful. Are they asking total number of structures in ethyl carbonium ion? Then 4. If there's number of hyperconjugated structure, then it is 3. This is clear. Then we look at isopropyl carbonium ion, CH3. This is CH3, and this is CH, and this is the PZ. So in case of isopropyl carbonium ion, in case of isopropyl carbonium ion, this is the carbon containing the carbon positive charge. So this is also alpha carbon atom, this is also alpha carbon atom. So this alpha carbon atom has 3 alpha CH bond, this has also 3 alpha CH bond. So first this electron will come over here, sideways overlapping will take place, go back. Then this will come over here, sideways overlapping, take, go back. This will come over here, sideways overlapping, take, go back. This will come over here, sideways overlapping, come back. This will go. So how many total structures will be formed? So in this case, it will be 6 hyperconjugating structures. Then look at tertiary carbonium ion, tertiary butyl carbonium ion, CH3, CH3 plus. So here what happens, look, you have, this is the carbonium ion and this is its PZ orbital. So you have CH3, you have CH3 and you have CH3. So if this is the carbonium ion, there are 3 alpha CH over here, there are 3 alpha CH over here, there are 3 alpha CH. So totally tertiary butyl carbonium ion, is going to form 9 structures. So now we always tell na, stability of carbonium, tertiary greater than secondary greater than primary. Why are we saying that? Because what happens in tertiary, the number of hyperconjugating structures are more, whereas in primary it is less. So this will be more stable than isopropyl and will be more stable than ethyl. It will be more stable than ethyl. Are you understanding? So this is the logic of what you call hyperconjugation. So this is true even of what? Even of a free radical, carbon free radical. but you don't use this. So stability of carbon free radical क्या रहेगा? Again, tertiary greater than secondary greater than primary, because moment you have free radical, let us take tertiary carbonium free radical. What happens? You have CH3, CH3, you have CH3, and this is a PZ with the unpaired electron. So now what happens is this bond breaks, one electron is left with hydrogen, the electron of carbon is forming a sideways overlap. 1, then 2, then 3. So 9 such overlaps are possible. So hyperconjugation is a concept applied only for carbonium ion and carbon free radicals. It is not for carbanion. It is not for carbanion, because finally you need a pz orbital which is either vacant or which has one unpaired electron for it to form the sideways overlap. Sarah, have you understood what I am saying? Sarah? Can you hear me? What happened? Okay, I'll send the recording also. So listen carefully. So I think you're not able to unmute. So this is about hyperconjugation. Is this clear? We have time today, so we'll finish aromaticity also. Very important questions are asked in aromaticity. See, now what happens is, when is a compound said to be aromatic? We'll discuss those questions of aromatic, what kind of questions they are asking. So first thing is, when do we consider when is a substance or when is an organic compound? When is an organic compound? When is an organic compound considered to be aromatic? When is for what are the conditions it must fulfill? See, what happens is, somehow now we have always said that the rule. I'll take the example, 1 minute. 1 minute. Because I need some examples. Resonance हो गया. I taught you resonance. Okay. Then I taught. Okay. Application of resonance हो गया. Comparison of bond length. Compare resonance. What is that rule? I forgot the name of the rule. 1 minute. Huckel's rule. Okay. See, this is the problem of diabetes, blood pressure. When you take blood pressure medicine, sometimes that 1 minute memory loss is there. Now we'll. So, when is an organic compound considered to be aromatic? First and foremost, what are the conditions it must fulfill? It has to be a cyclic compound. It has to be a cyclic compound. First point. The second point is that all pz orbitals must be in conjugation. So what is the rule that follows with this? That means all atoms in the ring, whether they are carbon or otherwise, it could be nitrogen, all that, we'll come to that. All atoms in the ring should be sp2 hybridized. Only then what happens? You will get one pz free. Only then you will get one pz free. The third point is that it should show resonance. It should show resonance. And then the fourth point is, what happens? It should have 4n plus 2 pi electrons. 4n plus 2 pi electron. This is called as Huckel's rule. So generally what happens, now I don't know why, we always think 4n plus 2 electron ho gaya to ho gaya. All these conditions have to be fulfilled. We'll look at benzene now. It is clear. Very simple example, and then we'll go to complicated example. I mean, we'll take two examples from the MCQs. See, benzene is what? C6H6. So each carbon in benzene is sp2 hybridized. So each carbon has got what? So 4n plus 2 means what? N is just 0, 1, 2, 3. So what are the values of what we can have? When n is equal to 0, okay, number of electrons should be equal to how much? 2. 4n plus 2, na? So 2 electrons. When n is equal to 1, 4 plus 1, 6. When n is equal to 2, 4 to 8 plus 2, 10. When n is equal to 3, 4 to 8, 4, 12 plus 2, n is equal to 3. This is for 12, 4 to 8, for that 12, 12 plus 2, 14. So they must have so many pi electrons. You will understand this when I just now give the example. This is clear. So we saw benzene, each carbon is sp2 hybridized. Okay, each carbon, okay, each carbon is sp2 hybridized. So it should be cyclic compound. sp2 means it has to be planar. Very important. So how we are going to reject that the compound is, moment one of the carbon has an sp3 hybridization, we are going to reject it as non-aromatic. So here it is fulfilling the first condition, that the molecule is planar. That is the thing which follows this. Cyclic compound to hai, should be cyclic, planar. Cyclic dikhta hai. It is planar because each and every carbon atom is sp2 hybridized. Second, because of the presence of electron, what is happening? There is a delocalization of electron. It shows resonance. So second point is also fulfilled. It shows resonance. Okay. All pz orbitals are in conjugation. All atoms in the ring are sp2 hybridized. They show resonance. And then what happens? Third, how many electrons are there in the pi electrons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 6 pi electrons. So it is fulfilling what? It is fulfilling Huckel's rule. Because Huckel's rule says only those which have got 2, 6, 10, 14 and so on and so forth pi electrons, they are aromatic. It's very easy, you will think. Na? Now let me explain with the help of another example. Let's take an example of, from the exam only, from the entrance exam we will take and try to discuss that. Okay. Now the question is, which of the following, now your fundas will get cleared. Which of the following compound, so this is the MCQ in the exam, we have taken it, NEET mein aaya hai. Which of the following compound is aromatic? So A tha cyclopropene, B cyclopropene free radical, C था cyclopropene carbanion, and D इधर आएगा. I'll put D over here and then we can, D is cyclopropene carbonium ion. So let us now study each one and say it is either at non-aromatic or aromatic. The first one, cyclopropene, if I draw the structure, what do I get? Structure is something like this: CH, then these two bonds, and then you have एक दो तीन CH, CH. So here you look at the carbon, Sara, it has got 4 single bonds. If it has got 4 single bonds, clearly this carbon has sp3 hybridized. So it is cyclic, but is non-planar. It is cyclic and non-planar because one carbon atom in the ring is sp3 hybridized. It's got 4 single bond. So this is non-aromatic. Na is non-aromatic. Now let us look at cyclopropene free radical. So first is, does it show resonance? Yes. So what are the resonating structures? So you can see it is cyclic. All pz orbitals are in conjugation. All atoms are sp2 hybridized. It shows resonance. So these are the 3 resonating structures. But what happens is, I'll explain to you with a diagram now. So you can see this is pz, the first case. So obviously what happened? So there is a pi bond over here. This is the first resonating structure. Then what happened? See, this bond broke and they too formed a pi bond. So this was the pi bond formed. So this was the carbon free radical. Then the third one was what? Let me put the third one over here. Okay, this is pz, this is pz, this is pz. So now what happened? This bond broke. This was the pi bond formed. So these are the 3 structures which I wrote. So first, is it a cyclic compound? Yes. Is it planar? Yes, it is following all the rules. All pz orbitals in conjugation? Yes. Is there resonance? Yes. But how many electrons are there? 1, 2, 3. But our Huckel's rule says that they should have 2 or 6 or 10 or 14. But what happens over here? It follows everything else except Huckel's rule. So this is not aromatic. This is not aromatic. I hope you are getting what I am saying. This is clear. Now look at the next one, cyclopropene carbonate. So how many electrons were there in the pi bonds? 3 electrons were involved in the pi bond formation. Look at cyclopropene carbonium ion. 1, 2, 3. So here what happened in the first case? So remember, carb anion in a straight chain is pyramidal in shape. Carb anion in a ring is always sp2 hybridized and planar. Are you understanding? So this is where the question comes in nature of chemical bond. Now what has happened, Sarah? Look, in the first example, so this was the pi bond and this was the lone pair. Okay. In the second example, what happened? All these are pz. So this bond broke, this electron came over here. So this was the pi bond. The third case, what happened? pz, pz, pz. So abhi kya ho gaya? This bond broke, electron came over here, this is the pi bond. So what kind of resonating structures did we have? We had something like this, na? So these were the resonating structures. So let us now look. Is it a cyclic compound? Yes. Is it planar? Yes. Each one of the carbon atom is sp2 hybridized. All pz's are in conjugation? Yes. All are showing sp2? Yes. Resonance? Yes. So how many electrons are involved in the A? 1, 2, 3, 4. So Huckel's rule says that either it should be 2 electrons or 6, only then it is aromatic. Only then it is aromatic. So again, this is also non-aromatic, or I'll write over here. This is non-aromatic. Now let us come to cyclopropene carbonium ion. So this is carbonium ion. So this is PZ, PZ, PZ. So this carbonium ion does not have electron. So this is the pi bond, structure number 1. Then what can happen? This can break, electron can get transferred over here. So the next structure that can be formed is, so this is the vacant PZ, so plus point, plus charge over here, and this is the pi bond. Then the third structure possible is what? The third structure possible is that this broke and came over here. So you have a so this is a pi bond and this is the vacant PZ. So now look at cyclopropene carbonium ion. Cyclic compound? Yes. All PZ are in conjugation? Yes. All atoms are sp2? Yes. That means they are showing resonance. And how many electrons are there in the resonating structures? 1, 2 only. It is fulfilling. So, in this case, for example, only cyclopropene carbonium ion is aromatic, whereas all other 3 are non-aromatic, even though some of them may be fulfilling the first 1, 2, 3 condition. Sarah, are you understanding? I am really helpless because you are not able to unmute yourself. Have you understood this? You can send a message, Sarah. I will be able to. 1 minute. I will also get used to this. 1 minute. Toggle file view. This is open close chat. Yes, sir. Yeah, I can't hear you. Okay. Yes. So you can hear me. Have you understood? I'm just typing. Have you understood? So you can type back so I will know. Great. I'll just wait. Yes, yes. Okay. So now look. So this is a kind of question. I'll take another interesting question from. So you should not think that only uncharged and carbonium ion can be what you call aromatic. Now let us look at another compound. Another MCQ from the what you call entrance exam. Okay. We'll keep these rules so that what happens is I can explain the rules to you. So you see what we learn from the textbook now, there's a vast difference from the textbook and what is a question asked in NEET. This is what we call as concept. Is this clear? So now listen carefully. Again same question. Which compound among the following is which compound among the following is aromatic? Okay. So I'll do one thing. I'll write down here all the 4 compounds. So what happens then I can explain over here. A, we have cyclopentene. See that. What is this compound? This is cyclopentene. B, this is cyclopentene free radical. What is this? This is cyclopentene free radical. Then C, we have cyclopentene carb anion. D, I have purposely kept the correct answer last. I am telling you because then I can explain. So this, why these three are wrong ना, तो why this is correct तुमको समझ जाएगा. We have cyclopentene carb anion. Okay, let's take the first one. Let me take cyclopentene, just cyclopentene. So CH2 I think. No, CH double bond. फिर इधर क्या रहेगा? CH2 रहेगा. Correct? CH2. Look, each carbon has to have a valency of 4. That's a simple logic I am applying. So 1 2 3 CH4, 1 2 3 CH4, फिर 1 2 3 4. So this is non-aromatic. Na. Why? The reason is that this carbon is sp3 hybridized. Moment a carbon has got 4 single bond attached to 4 different atoms, सीधा it is sp3 hybridized, and sp3 means tetrahedral. Tetrahedral means non-planar. So इधर ही अटक गया. It is a cyclic compound. We are very happy, but it is non-planar. It is non-planar. Now let us look at the second case. Why is it aromatic or not? Okay, we have cyclopentene free radical. Okay, so ये एक PZ है, ये एक PZ है, ये एक PZ है, ये एक PZ है, और ये एक PZ है. Okay, so what is happening is इसका इलेक्ट्रॉन, इसका इलेक्ट्रॉन, इसका इलेक्ट्रॉन, इसका इलेक्ट्रॉन. So this will be the first resonating structure. The second resonating structure can be like this. Can be like this. The third can be so these are the three resonating structures of negative नहीं था वो क्या free radical था ना, तो it will have electron. So let us look at this. Is it a cyclic compound? Yes. Is it planar? Yes, because all of them are sp2 hybridized. How you will say, sir, how do you know it is sp2? Are each has a pz orbital na? The moment each has a pz orbital, remaining carbon has undergone sp2. All pz are in conjugation. Yes, there is resonance. 1 2 3 structure. There is resonance. Fine. Now we look up. Apply Huckel's rule. How many electrons does it have in the this thing? 1 2 3 4 5. So how many electrons are there? Pi electrons? 5. After 2, what is the next number you can have? 6. It can't have 5. Are you understanding? So therefore this is non-aromatic. This is non-aromatic. Then we come to the third one. What is your third one? Cyclopentene carbonium ion. You will jump. You will say, sir, last time carbonium ion was aromatic. Let us check over here. You have 1. The next structure is how much? 2. The third resonating structure is, yes. So let us look at cyclopentene carbonium ion. Is it cyclic? Yes. Is it planar? Yes, because all of them have sp2. All pz orbitals are in conjugation. Yes, that's why it's showing resonance, na? How many electrons does it have? 1 2 3 4. It has 4 electrons. This had how much? 1 2 4 plus this had 5 electrons. This has 4 electrons, isliye non-aromatic. Now let us look at cyclopentene carbanion. What have this is the first structure? The second structure will be like this. The third structure will be is it cyclic? Yes. Is it planar? Yes. Carb anion in a ring is sp2 hybridized. So all carbon atoms are sp2 planar. Are they showing resonance? Yes. 1 2 3 structure ho gaya. How many electron does it have? देखो 1 2 3 4 and 5 6. So in this case cyclopentene carbyne is aromatic. Are you understanding? So this is how we decide whether a compound is aromatic or non-aromatic. Okay, one or two more extra and then we can stop today. So your day is worth it. Now we have got, अभी ये तो हो गया, what is an anti-aromatic compound? अभी इतना सब जो stories में example में, so we have some space here. What is an anti-aromatic compound? ये question भी पूछता है. So they give you an example, ask you whether it's aromatic. Then they can ask which is anti-aromatic. Is this clear? So which is anti-aromatic? So what is an anti-aromatic compound? What is an anti-aromatic compound? Same rule. All cyclic, planar, pz in conjugation resonance, but it should have 4 n electrons. 4 n, when n is equal to 0 ये तो होगा, n is equal to 1 4 electrons, n is equal to 1 0 में तो होगा ही नहीं ना, n is equal to 1 4 electron, n is equal to 2 8 electrons, n is equal to 3 12 electrons. अभी इसमें कौन सा स्ट्रक्चर में 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन था ये देखो. In this structure we had 4 electrons, so ये non aromatic नहीं बोलेगा, we'll say it is anti aromatic. So whenever they have 4n electrons, that is 4 8 12, correct, 2 6 10 14 will be aromatic, 4n electrons रहेगा तो 4 8 12 रहेगा, so they will be called as anti aromatic. Then there is one more, quasi aromatic, anti aromatic, and then we have quasi aromatic. So all aromatic compounds which are having charge, cyclopropene carbonium ion, see benzene. So which are the 3 compounds that we came across which are aromatic? किधर लिखेगा रे, पूरा हालत खराब है. Okay, इधर थोड़ा सा जगह है. We had benzene, okay, हाँ दिखता है. Then we had cyclopropene carbonium ion. Then we had, अभी हमने एक एग्जाम्पल सीखा cyclopentene carb anion, है ना, ये 3 एग्जाम्पल दिया. ओके, इसको जरा रब करता हूँ, so there is no confusion. पूरा बोर्ड का पैसा वसूल हो रहा है. आई एम वेरी हैप्पी. ओके, now listen. All the 3 were aromatic. अभी इतना एग्जाम्पल सीखा. बट होता क्या है, those aromatic compounds which have got charge, they are called as quasi aromatic or quasi aromatic. तो इसका इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है quasi aromatic का? They are soluble in water. They are soluble in water. तो क्या होगा सारा? The question will be, you have benzene, naphthalene, okay, anthracene, ऐसा कुछ तो भी देगा वो लोग. Aromatic compounds. Benzene, naphthalene, anthracene, all of them fulfill this. Okay, and they will give cyclopropene or this and say which is soluble in water. They will not say quasi aromatic. Which is quasi aromatic कभी question नहीं पूछता है. The question will be framed which is soluble. So 1 2 3 4, yeah, 1 2 3 4. These 2 are going to be soluble because they have a aromatic compound which has a charge. So this is the kind of level of preparation we require for NEET. समझा? So this is how questions are asked, and okay, I am happy teaching this here. Seriously, I tell you, because it's really for all my children an awakening.